Good morning, everyone. Today I wanted to talk about the scope I use. I use the Optima 416 by 50 scope. It has a lighted reticle, but it only has one color, which is red. But it has varying brightnesses of the color red, which is all you need. You know, these scopes that offer 20, 30, 40, 50 different colors, that's great and all. But in low light situations, you only need one color. This scope comes in about $189. I'll leave a link in the description. But this is the scope I've used for squirrel hunting. For the last 5 years, I had it on my bull boss, and now I got it on my Wildcat. What else can I say here? Oh, since I got the Wildcat, I've started going out 100 yards. I could with the bull boss, but the groups weren't the best on the bull boss. I'm going to get it there, but I'm going to have to, drill some ports, do some porting and whatnot to get that FPS up. But this is the group I shot yesterday evening at 100 yards. This was just my first shot, confirming my first shot, adjusting, then I hit there, and then I did another adjustment and I shot here. But you can see the 5-shot group I got at 100 yards. It's exactly an inch this way, and this way it's 3/4 of an inch. That's the first time shooting with this at 100 yards. So I want to show you, the scope does just fine. With coming into pellet guns, I always used to use the second focal plane for years and years and years. But ever since I used the first focal plane, when it comes to these pellet gun and windages, I prefer the first focal plane, just because of the way the wind can affect these pellets. So, you've seen the group. Maybe show you a little bit what this can do, or where things are. This is your windage, and then this is the up and down, and then you got the, they call it the quick, I forget what they call these, 10, 20, 30, infinity. It's got, you can put the handle on there and, make it easier to use. It has that. But when it comes to this right here, I believe the more expensive models, they're a little more accurate. Now, I'm not saying this isn't accurate, but when I do turn this, I'm not seeing a whole lot of difference. There is some difference, but I don't see a whole lot. But I need do some experimenting. This part right here, I don't touch very often. Matter of fact, I don't ever adjust that, but I may start. This is the setting I keep it on, from 20 all the way out to 100. Now you can zoom in and zoom out, of course, but out there at 100 yards is when you start to see the differences in the more high dollar scopes. This is taking in consideration that your scope tracks well when you click it up and down, left and right, that it doesn't waver. This scope does not do that one bit. You go up and down and you adjust your windage, there's no variation. It stays right on track, so it tracks very well. I highly recommend this scope, especially if you don't have 2, 3, 4, 500 on up to spend on a scope. But if you're in competitions, you might want to get them fancy reticles with the Christmas tree, just because the windage does affect the pellet so much, if you're out there at them competitions in the high winds. But I have the reticle is fine. It doesn't get too thick. Out at 100 yards, if I dial it way back to get a wider view, I can still see my reticle, and at 100 yards, I believe it's fine. But then, you know, just to remind you, I just leave it up there at 8, so my reticles, you know, it's, if I had fancier equipment, I could show you. Hopefully someday I can put together a better setup to just show you guys better quality videos. But that's the scope I use. It works well. I mean, I've had no trouble in the woods. I've had no trouble tracking. I've had no problem with it holding zero. It's been a good scope, 189 bucks. And again, I'll leave a link in the description. If you want to check it out, check them out. I recommend them. All right, thanks a lot. You guys have a good day. Bye.